How's it going, viewers? I wanted to do a video covering, I wanted to do one video kind of covering two topics. I wanted to show my Fire Emblem collection, while at the same time I kind of want to explain how I got into this franchise, and yeah, I wanted to kind of just cover those two topics in one. I don't know how long this video will be because I usually tend to get off track and talk more than I should, but here's my first copy of Fire Emblem Awakening, the only copy I've ever owned. But that's not where I started with Fire Emblem. I originally started Fire Emblem with the first Fire Emblem game on the Game Boy Advance, the one with Eliwood, Hector, and Lindis. But I obviously got introduced to Fire Emblem through Smash Bros. Melee. A friend of mine had a copy of the game, and I pretty much knew every character in that roster but two, Roy and Marth. And I never actually played them back when the game was new. I didn't try them out till years later when I had my own copy of Melee. And for what it's worth, I thought their movesets were pretty unique, but I wasn't very good with them, so I didn't really pursue the characters. But that was like roughly around 2002 or 2003, because I didn't play Smash Bros. Melee when it was launched. I played it like a couple years later, because I wasn't really into the franchise at the time either. No, I wasn't into fighting games. But yeah, that was the first time I ever saw those two sword fighters, Marth and Roy. I thought it was cool that they had Japanese voices, though I kind of wish I knew what they were saying. And yeah, fast forward a couple years later, I was in middle school. I'd say 8th grade, or freshman in high school, I don't remember actually. A friend of mine said he found a Game Boy Advance at school. He says he found it, I'm pretty sure he lifted it. But nonetheless, he says he found a Game Boy Advance at school, and the game that was in it was Fire Emblem. And he didn't know how to play it, so he thought I would like it. He told me, "Hey Leo, this game I found inside this Game Boy Advance I found. It's called Fire Emblem. I don't know if you like it, but here, take it anyways." And I'm like, "Oh, cool, thanks. Never heard of Fire Emblem, but I'll give it a shot." And I booted up the game and I tried it out, and I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea how to play that game for the life of me, and I tried on multiple occasions to play it, and I couldn't get the hang of it. So I tried the game out a couple times, didn't sit well with me, so I don't know what I did with that copy. I either gave it away or sold it. And yeah, fast forward a few years later, and Brawl comes out, and I was hyped for that game because I loved Smash 64. I didn't like Melee that much in comparison. And they brought Marth back and Ike, and I tried Ike out, and I thought he was badass. And that's when I started showing a little more interest in Fire Emblem. I'm like, they keep bringing these characters back, and I hear Fire Emblem here and there, because it hadn't blown up yet. Like, this wasn't 2012. This game hasn't been out yet. So I tried Ike out, and I thought his moveset was so cool, and his final smash was so awesome. So I still wasn't into the franchise, but I was into the characters. So fast forward a few more years, I mained Ike and Snake and Lucas in Brawl, and then Fire Emblem Awakening came out, and I heard it was a sleeper hit. It really took off here in the States, and I guess worldwide too. It sold a lot, and again, I still wasn't crazy about the series. I liked the characters, but I just wasn't into the games. But I heard this game was really beginner friendly, and it's really addicting to play. So I went ahead and picked up a copy, and honestly, for like the first hour, I didn't like the game at all. I'm like, I still can't get into the franchise. But I was like, there's something in this game that people enjoy that I want to know what it is. So I kept grinding it out. I dragged in another hour into the game, and then I don't know what chapter it was that I got finally into the game. It might have been that chapter where you're trying to invade that castle in the snow, where you meet up with Sumia. I don't know what chapter that was, but that chapter was pretty fun. And I guess I did finally start getting that. I got hooked on the game, and I couldn't actually put it down. I kept playing and playing and playing. So yeah, I guess you could say this was the first Fire Emblem game I actually liked. But I played this game after I bought Smash 4, so rewind a few years back, or 1 year back, I guess, because I bought this after Smash 4 came out. Yeah, I was a little late to the party. But yeah, Smash 4 came out, and I remember that I saw the reveal trailer for Lucina and Robin, and I'm like, who the hell is she? Because I'm like, where's Marth and Ike? Because I don't think they were released yet, or they were revealed, but through pictures only. So I saw all the negative feedback this female sword fighter was getting, and I'm like, man, I feel really bad. Um, because I haven't played Awakening yet, and I'm like, man, I feel really bad for this character that they're really like kicking rocks at her. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna main that character. I don't know who she is, but I'm like, she plays like Marth, and I tried Marth out a couple times, and I'm not that bad with him. And yeah, that's how Lucina ended up being my main and my best girl in Awakening, at least for me. And yeah, I mained her in Smash. I downloaded all the Smash Bros. DLC, and I got, of course, all the Fire Emblem characters, which are the characters I use the most. But yeah, that pretty much sums up my beginning and where I am now with Fire Emblem. It was mainly through Smash Brothers and this game that I got into it. I tried out the first Fire Emblem, and it didn't sit well with me. I mean, if I play it now, I might like it, but back then I didn't like it at all. And I never played Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn, although I wish I can, but those games are pretty hard to find. But yeah, this game was really good. I actually never bought the DLC for it, but I feel like the game's actual full release is really good. I wish they would release a complete collection of all the DLC in one game, but for what it's worth, this game's really good. So yeah, that's pretty much my start with Fire Emblem and Awakening. Awakening's a great game, and this game I got its own art book. This was published by Dark Horse Comic, or just Dark Horse, I guess. And this is a pretty good art book. It has a lot of illustrations, whether it be from the cinematic cutscenes or any kind of rough drafts of the characters, official artwork. It has what's it called? Character supports. This book. It really is amazing. I don't remember how much it cost. I think it was like around $40. But for what it's worth, this was a really good book, and yeah, it was really worth it. This book is huge though. It's really heavy. I mean, for a book at least, it's pretty hefty. But no, I think the price is actually on the back. Yeah, it was $40. But yeah, if you could pick one of these up at a bookstore or bookseller, I do recommend you pick it up. It's really good. So that does it with Awakening for me. I guess I'll show you guys my Amiibo collection. Of course, I own Lucina, my Smash Bros. Main. I like her a lot as a fighter and as a character as well. I got the Hero King Marth. I main him from time to time, but I don't like the tip on the sword. It kind of feels cheap when I land it. That's why I feel like playing with Lucina's a little more fair and challenging, because she doesn't have any special traits. You got Robin. I never use Robin. I don't like his moveset. He's a good unit in Awakening, but I just wasn't crazy about him in Smash Bros. And here I got Ike, which was actually the first Fire Emblem amiibo I got. I pre-ordered him at GameStop, and I think he sold out pretty quick. Of course, Ike was my main in Brawl. I do like his Radiant Dawn look, but I kind of wish they used his Path of Radiance look. I liked it better. But no, this Radiant Dawn look does look really cool. He looks beefed up and like he's ready to kick ass. And of course, I got the final Smash Bros. Amiibo for at least until Corrin's release, which aren't available at the moment. I got Roy, the young lion, in my second main in Smash 4. He's almost caught up to Lucina in terms of playtime. But yeah, Roy's awesome. I'm glad they brought him back from Melee, because I liked him in Melee because his neutral breathe was just so fun to do. Alright, and after Awakening and Smash 4 settled down, a new game was released by Intelligent Systems called Fire Emblem Fates, which I got right here. I got the actually, here's a funny story. The game, when it was announced, it had a special edition that had all three branches in one. And I thought every copy of the game was going to be like that. I thought the special edition just had, special bonuses. But I thought every copy of the game was going to have all three paths, but apparently not, which really annoyed me. So when the game was originally launched, I had to buy a copy of Birthright and Conquest, which is how I got this keychain set, which I haven't opened yet either. I kind of put it aside because I was so excited to play the game, I kind of just tossed it aside. And yeah, I played through Birthright and I beat it all the way. And I was halfway through Conquest until I found a posting on GameStop. They had one collector's set used, just the game, not the box and the stuff. So, and it was like $60, so I had to go over there and buy it. I traded in both my copies of Birthright and Conquest, which kind of hurt because those were my launch copies that I bought, and I don't tend to buy launch games that often, but those copies were kind of precious to me. But after I bought this Conquest and Birthright and I guess Revelations as well, I I didn't feel all that bad afterwards. But yeah, it really sucks how much this game has spiked in price. I really wish everyone could own a copy of this. And it's a great game. I finished Birthright, of course. Conquest, I got up to chapter 26, I think. No, chapter 24. And I got stumped. I might have to restart. The game got pretty hard. And I haven't played Revelations yet. I really want to, though. But I don't know. This game had a really choppy translation by Treehouse. And this could have been a good game, but there's so many things that held it back from being good. I mean, the branching paths, the multiple copies, the butchered translation by Treehouse. Nonetheless, it's still a great game, but yeah, Nintendo really handled it poorly. And recently, we got a remake of an old game that I never in my life thought would get a remake. I've never played the older games, just Binding Blade and Blazing Sword, and I guess a few chapters of Thracia 776, but I never played anything before those games. So when I heard that there was a new Fire Emblem that was a remake of an old Fire Emblem, I was like, which one is it gonna be? But these were rumors. I didn't think it was official yet. So when the trailer came out that it was a remake of Gaiden, which I got right here, I actually managed to snag a collector's set. I was both excited and kind of bummed. I mean, I was excited because we got a new Fire Emblem game, but I was kind of bummed because they were remaking Gaiden, which at the time, for some reason, people are praising it for being a great game. But before this, before the actual release of the remake, people were like dragging Gaiden through the mud, saying how bad a game it was. Bad map designs, horrible growth rates, slow gameplay. I'm like thinking, damn, they could have remade Genealogy of the Holy War, or something else, or I don't know. But nonetheless, when I saw the artwork and the cutscenes, and I knew they weren't gonna keep Gaiden like faithful to the original. I knew they were gonna use Awakening and Fate's features, but they did manage to keep it grounded to Gaiden, and they managed to keep it classic and modern at the same time, and I think that it paid off really well. I haven't beat the game yet. I'm on Act 4 right now. I'm on Alm's Route, and I'm almost done with the game, I think. But yeah, this is a really great game, and it came with its own art book that I honestly haven't opened yet. I kind of bought the game super excited, and of course I played it right away, and I haven't touched any of the special edition stuff. And here, of course, I got the sound selection, which I haven't opened yet either. I want to listen to it though, because I hear it has renditions of the original Gaiden and renditions of Echoes too. And here you got the pin set, you got Alm, Marth, and Celica, and you got the 3DS game, of course. Just let me see. Which is a really fun, great game. Great soundtrack, great character designs. Whoever the artist was did an amazing job with the character redesigns. I hope they bring him back for other remakes. And of course I bought the Amiibo too. I haven't opened them. I don't keep my Amiibos closed, as you can tell. I like to keep them on shelves. I just haven't opened it yet, is all. Which is weird which is funny, I guess, because these have exclusive dungeons that I haven't used yet. I want to try to beat the game in one go with no DLC, no Amiibo support, nothing. So yeah, in my second playthrough I might actually use them for their dungeons, but in my first playthrough I want to beat the game originally how it's supposed to be played, I guess. And sorry, I forgot one more thing. I have my Lucina Figma. I have her in the box. As you can see, the stuff are moved around. I have them in the Ziploc bag. But that's because when I was moving, I had to put some stuff away, and I put her in the box. And I don't have a shelf that I can display her on, so I left her in the box until then. I need to get a new shelf that hopefully I can like display all my collection, because I never, honestly, had you asked me a couple years ago if I liked Fire Emblem, I would have said no way. I would have said I don't like the gameplay. I'm not crazy about the strategy, tactical role-playing game. Which is weird because I feel like punching myself right now for even thinking that. It's weird. It's so crazy how much of a 180 I did. That I used to not like this franchise at all, and now I can't get enough of it. So yeah, that does it for my video and my collection. I have Awakening, Fates, I have a Figma, and I can't wait for the Corn Figma to come out. I have the special edition of Echoes, and yeah, I can't. I love Fire Emblem Heroes. The mobile game is really fun. I can't wait for Fire Emblem Warriors. I am kind of disappointed that it's only Awakening and Fates characters, which kind of is really annoying. I really want them to use Genealogy, the Holy War characters, or characters from the Tellius games, or the Binding Blade and Blazing Sword. But well, what are you gonna do, right? They're trying to market off, the more popular games, so I can't fault them for that. And of course, I'm hyped for the Switch game that's coming out in next year, I think, in 2018. I guess you're wondering why I don't have like every intelligent system game. I tried out Advance Wars a couple years ago, and I didn't like it again because it was pretty much Fire Emblem with tanks and helicopters. And I might give it another shot someday. I didn't buy Codename Steam because I thought the game looked really dumb. I'm just gonna be honest, it looks really stupid. I didn't play Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem or whatever that game's called because it also, again, it was really butchered by Nintendo. I really wish they'd stop doing that. But yeah, this is basically a collection of main Fire Emblem. This isn't no spin-offs or anything. That's why I didn't show my Smash 4 copy or my Smash... I don't have Melee or Brawl anymore. But that's why I kind of wanted to focus this mainly on Fire Emblem. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I hope you guys enjoyed my story of how I got into the series and where I am now and my collection. So stick around for more content, guys. Thanks for watching and have a good one.